Hey, what's up, guys? Toogie here, back again with another episode of my Hartford Whalers franchise mode series right here on NHL 18, and today we begin the sim on a new season. Now, of course, last year things went relatively well. We were the Western Conference champions. We lost in the Cup final to Carolina. Yes, again, keep in mind, we began this series before they patched in division realignment. We are, of course, in the Western Conference. Heading into the season, the goal is fairly obvious. It's to get back to the Cup final and this time get the job done. However, with this team, we, of course, do have quite a few question marks. Whether it's Lucas Leidecker, I'm going to try to say Leidecker, whatever, at least you know who I'm talking about. Concerns about his progression, being 19 years old, medium franchise, but only an 83. A lot of you guys are concerned as to whether or not he is going to continue to develop. We have moved him at center this season, pretty much out of necessity because, of course, we dropped Andre Burakovsky. We dropped Zachary Senyshyn. We have Warren Dirksen now on that second line, you know, bumping him up a little bit higher than maybe what he should be so far at this stage in his career, but we're giving him a chance. He's a question mark on his own. I mentioned Senyshyn. He is one of many players we moved out over the past 2 episodes. Of course, a lot of disappointment in me deciding to let go of Max Jones, which I certainly understand. And that's the thing. I can't deny it. You know, Sebastian Olsson, Kosarenkov, even Connor Roberts, these guys are question marks at this point. When it comes to Senyshyn, again, good playoffs and good postseason. The regular season, though, was a bit too weak, but you could argue maybe he'd look a little bit better on that third line right now as opposed to Sebastian Olsson. But I don't just look at the overall. I look at the stats, and the stats paint a better picture. Again, it's the real lack of a physical category and a shot whatsoever that kind of bring down Olsson, but I think he could provide some good third line scoring, or at least some point production. And then again, with Max Jones, it was him or Kosarenkov. We went for Kosarenkov. But then again, you know, similar situation, I should say, because with Kosarenkov, we went with him over Jones because Jones was, you know, really more of a physical player, whereas Kosarenkov's a bit more well-rounded. Yet in the case of Roberts, we went with him over Martin Necas, even though Necas is the more well-rounded player and Roberts is more of a physical player. So I can't sit here and say there's been a tremendous amount of consistency with my decision-making, but regardless, this team is set up the way it is. Are we the strongest on paper? No, but we weren't the strongest on paper last year either, and look at how far we made it. Now, you could argue, hey, if you were set up that much better, things might have, things might have gone a little bit better for you, which, fair point, fair play. Fair play, although can you really criticize me too much when we just missed out? We lost in 6 games to Carolina. Oh God, it's still gonna take a while to get over that. I am still just so tremendously disappointed. And of all the teams to lose to, it had to be Carolina. But you know what? That's behind us. It's in the past. The new season is officially underway, the 2022-2023 season, and we begin it with a 7-1 loss to Pittsburgh. We at least rebound with the shootout win over Toronto, a 3-2 loss to Arizona, but then an 8-3 win over Dallas that sees Roman Josi go down to injury very, very early on. Now, the question is, you know what? I think I'm just going to have Paul Postma replace him outright. Of course, we signed Postma as a depth defenseman to a $15 million contract, if I'm not mistaken, just so that we actually had, you know, a little bit of versatility. Let's go 1 month for defenseman, maybe. That might be the best way to handle it. Josi is back early, slightly early, I believe. And we'll get him back into the lineup in exchange for Postma. I can't help but wonder how Paul Postma did in that situation, and the answer is not great. The answer is not great. And of course, we signed Andy Mille and Matt Laredo as depth players. That's pretty much all they are going to be, as that AHL lineup is optimized as well. As Anthony Stolarz goes down to injury. Well, this could be a long episode, couldn't it? The good thing is Mikanov is not affected by waivers. Of course, Our depth in goaltending, potential-wise, it's looking okay, but overall-wise, it's still a bit questionable in the long run. Of course, Stolarz was the backup, so it kind of sucks for him to get hurt, but at least it wasn't Malcolm. So Allen and Kuhlman will be the tandem down with the Connecticut Whale in the meantime. As we continue to trade wins and losses, Stolarz is back already. Oh boy, this could be a very menu-heavy... well, I suppose every franchise episode is menu-heavy, but, I mean, roster management-heavy kind of episode here, which won't make for too much of an exciting episode, but damn it, we're doing what we can, and hopefully this injury bug proves to just be temporary. Otherwise, this could be a major pain in the ass for me throughout the course of this episode. Obviously, oh my god, I was going to say, I'm anxious to see how this team can do. Oh my god. Connor Roberts is out until January with concussion issues. That is devastating. We're not even through the first month of the season, and Connor Roberts just suffered a fairly devastating injury there. Huh. Yeah, that's bad. That is not good for us at all. I mean, our call-up options right now... Of course, right now we're struggling for depth. We're going to go best lines. Hopefully I can stop the sim before we get to that Calgary game. Hopefully. Okay, cool. Our best option here might be to make a trade. That might be the way to go. Trying to sign a player, otherwise it could be a problem. And I gotta admit, I would love to just trade for Max Jones again and move Kozarenko to center, but I can't quite remember where I traded him to. I mean, otherwise we're looking at Brock McGinn or Emerson Edom, Scott Kosmachuk as well. Where did I trade Max Jones? I'm trying to remember, and that's why I took a look at the news feed. I cannot remember. Oh, God, where did I trade Max Jones? I'd love to reacquire him. We will look at left wings here, and we will sort by overall, and let's see if I can find him. Again, I wouldn't mind bringing him back. It's not necessarily like I wanted to get rid of him. Obviously, last episode, the majority of it was me struggling to make up my mind as far as who we were getting rid of. I mean, now's a good time to bring him back, I would say, considering we are going to be without Roberts for a decent portion of this season. Some of you are screaming at me right now saying, you traded him to this team. What's the matter with you? Why don't you remember? And to that I say... fair point. Fair point. I probably should remember where I traded him. But, yeah, so far not so good. My God, where did I trade him to? It's going to be on the last team we look at, right? I haven't seen him whatsoever. Where the hell is he? Yep, literally one of the last few teams that we checked. We sent him to Washington. Alright. Well, is there a deal that can be worked out here? I want to look primarily at unsigned players. You got Lindsay at medium top 9, Ragnarsson as well. So let's see, Ragnarsson might be worth using here. Will that go through straight up? Probably not. No, but we can use some of these other unsigned players. So we'll go with the worst value. I mean, Nathaniel Dick, the greatest British player not named Tony Hand. I think we're going to have to try to use him here. Strimbu as well. Basically, I'm wondering, can we just use a bunch of unsigned players to make this happen? Which, so far, the answer appears to be no. But maybe, just maybe, we can get this to work out. I'm not going to be afraid to use a draft pick either. It's essentially just, get rid of as much garbage in this deal as we possibly can. And it's not as if we don't have draft picks. Will the Nashville 4th be enough? No, it won't. I am willing to give up the Washington 3rd, because obviously magically now we have 4 first-round picks, which helps out the situation quite a bit. Will this go through? No, it won't. How about just the 5th? Still no. I gotta admit I'm kind of surprised. I know they don't want to trade him, but I have to admit I am fairly surprised that this isn't going through. Ragnarsson's a fairly decent player, but just for the sake of saving a little bit of time, let's go ahead and add... I mean, I could add Holmes and Lindsay to this deal. I mean, these prospects, they're decent, but you look at the other prospects we have right now, even with just the Connecticut Whale, I don't necessarily know if we need them. Let's see, how about a third and a fifth? You already have our third-round pick. I mean, the value definitely looks to be in their favor. I mean, what if I just tack on a second rounder? What do they say to that? Well, why not? Max Jones is back in Hartford. We also pick up a second-round pick from Washington in the deal. So for those who were concerned about Max Jones being traded, well, he's back out of necessity because we lost Connor Roberts for quite a few months at this stage. So there you go. I mean, that fourth line, Jones, Kosarenkov, 76 face-off rating, and Taylor Radish. How's Olsen doing, by the way? Only 1 assist so far. That third line, they've been a little bit quiet. I got to admit, they've been a little bit quiet, as has Liedker so far. But this team hasn't been overly impressive, I have to admit, and it actually brings in Postma on defense. We have to change that. Bring in Juuso Valimaki. The power play, not sure how I feel about the power play, to be honest, but we'll leave it for now. I know I had the power play set up the way I wanted it to be, but considering the injuries we've had, you know, we haven't really had much of an option. But, I mean, trading for Max Jones, reacquiring him, just seemed like the right thing to do. Again, I could have gone for someone like Nakash, but, I mean, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Some people probably won't be too happy that I went ahead and reacquired him, but it makes sense. I mean, he's just as good of a player as the alternatives on the free agent list, so why the hell not? I mean, hey, if there's another injury or if Kosarenkov's struggling, maybe we try to contact our old buddy Martin Nakash. I don't know. We shall see. We have won 4 games in a row. Make that 5. Not to mention 6 out of our last 7. We're going to lose to Chicago, though, because I've mentioned our success. We are going to lose Sebastian Olsen to injury. November 29th, though, so he's not going to be out for all that long, which is always nice. Let's see, who can we call up here? We will just call up somebody, because it's not going to be for too long. Bowden's is waiver eligible. Laredo, Mile. I guess we'll go with Andrews. We'll call up Andrews. Also, because I know he won't be claimed, I am going to send Postma down for the moment. Oh, that way I can go best lines. To be honest, I don't even really think I had to do that, but you know what? It is what it is. So, Andrews, the sniper, I mean, stat-wise, it's a little bit rough. So, we will probably just go with, I could go Kosarenkov, or I could go Jones. Andrews isn't the best center, so we will go with Kosarenkov, and then I also want to go back to roster moves. Go to roster moves. Yes, game, I am sure. How many times do I have to hit the damn button? Jesus. And now we'll call up Postma again. And then we'll go back to the AHL lines. God, isn't this fun. Not that I want to go best lines, but I will. And does that put anybody in the lineup that we don't necessarily want there? Matt Laredo, again, is more of a depth player, so we'll bring in Watson. We're going to have to take out Andy Mile as well for Korobov. Aside from that, we should be good. It brings in Tunnell by default. So Abney, Lindros, Laredo, Mile, and Kuhlman are the healthy scratches. Of course, this is only temporary. I mean, really, we're going to have to edit the lines again here shortly. But what can you do, right? Alright, so I'll swap those 2 around. And aside from that, we are pretty much good. Korobov is not much of a center. Not much of a center at all. And, you know, I think we'll go with Ellington. And we're just going to go by overall for the sake of it. And the best part is I'm going to have to re-edit all these lines in just a minute. But damn it, I'm not going to half-ass it. I'm not going to half-ass it. We did lose to Chicago 1-0. We had the scouting to take care of. I am going to scout the WHL goaltenders for 2 weeks. Maybe we can find a guaranteed steal. We beat the Edmonton Oilers 4-2 before losing to the Blue Jackets. And Olsen, he is back to 100%. How did Andrews do? He didn't really do a whole hell of a lot now, did he? He didn't really do a whole hell of a lot. So we will go ahead and send him back down. To be honest, I won't even send down Postma again. I'll just go best lines and put in Valimaki. Liedeker's up to an 85, though. That's obviously a very promising change for us. And what's not very comforting is that when we go best lines, it does put Sprong on the top line over Patrick. So that's a little bit concerning, I gotta admit. Let me take out Postma really quick. And to be honest, in the meantime, I should change Kosarenkov back to a center. I should probably do that. Let's bring in Andrews, by the way. That gets Ellington back on the right-hand side, and that team is good to go. I should change Kosarenkov. Not going to, out of pure laziness. And Dirksen goes down to a fractured jaw. Holy hell. How much progress. I just hope to make it to the new year at this point. The injury bug has, I mean, it's destroying our team. It's not like, oh, we got bit by the injury bug. No, we are getting, like, this is like the frickin' scarabs from The Mummy with Brendan Fraser. Like, it's not an injury bug. Like, it's devouring us at this point. Oh my god. We'll call up Andrews again, I guess. I mean, that is the one concern right now. As I just hit my shin on the desk. That's always great. That is the one concern right now is our depth. However, I mean, we have to continue to develop certain prospects. So I actually am going to give Sebastian Olsen the chance on the second line. Judge me as you will. And again, we'll get Valimaki back in and then down in the AHL. Let's just go best lines for the moment. Nope, come on, EA. Recognize the fact that I hit to the left. Thank you very much. We're going to bring in Watson. I'm not even going to change this up. We're just going to go to Korobov, and we'll have him be the top line center because I have a death wish for this team. It's going to be great when Olsen gets hurt after this game against Colorado because he wasn't 100%. Never mind, we will lose Jorgensen, though, to back spasms down in the AHL. Oh, happy day. We just cannot stay healthy. This is unbelievable. Wow, at both the NHL and the AHL level, we cannot catch a break right now. I mean, it's good news for Tennell and Abney. They at least get to play, so that's cool. But damn. I'm surprised the Whale have as good of a record as they do. As for the Whalers, 11-11-1. Not exactly the ideal start. Now, my question is, for this episode alone, can we get to the new year? Or will we continue to struggle with this ungodly amount of injuries? And I think what we're going to do is we're going to go 5 weeks at both forward and defense. Warren Dirksen is back, which is great news for us. How's Olsen's point total? Wow. I mean, buddy, you are you are letting me down. You are the one guy where I'm like, maybe he'll be able to help. Maybe the attributes mean, if we look at the attributes, maybe we can value that over the overall. And it's not really working out too well for me right now, is it? Damn. Olsen is not exactly making the most of the current opportunity. I mean, we really haven't even taken a look at the stats yet, so I suppose we'll do that. I mean, it's just been such a struggle with injuries so far that looking at stats, I mean, it's essentially been, a secondary thought. And let's see, where's Laredo? Way up on the top line. We'll bring in Watson just for the hell of it. And we'll consider that good for the moment. So maybe, you know what, here, let's take a look at the stats. And David Pastrnak, 12 points in 25 games. There's a legitimate argument in trading David Pastrnak. There is. I mean, he did have 18 points in 26 games, but again, only 4 goals. And now you look at his point pace this year. It's not great, is it? It's not great. Mitch Marner has 14 points. 14 points in 25 games, not terrible, but is he on pace to be almost a point-a-game player like he was last year? No, or just about a point-a-game player last year. I'm saying he was on pace to do that. He didn't. Holy hell, and then Nolan Patrick, 16 points in 25 games. I mean, who do you blame right now? Who do you blame? Do you blame the offense? Do you blame the defense? What about the goaltending? Malcolm Subban has a .919 save percentage, and Anthony Stolarz has been miserable. On defense, the Josi Provorov pairing really isn't working. McDonough and Gardner really isn't working. Valimaki and Liljegren, yeah, I mean, Liljegren at least isn't a minus player. But, damn. Like, this team is underperforming on all levels. Warren Dirksen, 12 points in 21 games, not too shabby. Not too shabby. Leidecker, 9 points. Sprong with 10. Olsen hasn't done much. Tierney and Radish are there. I don't know, guys. I don't know. We will sim to the start of the new year. We'll get through this month. But if things are still looking a little bit rough, I mean, right now, with this pace that we're on and the point percentage that we're getting, I mean, you really have to wonder, are we a playoff team? And I'm just, I can't help but wonder. Like, I am so disappointed in David Pastrnak at the moment because, again, like, he was fairly disappointing in the playoffs. My God, Chris Tierney goes down to an injury as well. This is getting to be a bit ridiculous. It doesn't help. We have all of these injury issues. We have underperforming players. I mean, we're in a pretty rough spot at the moment. If you really look at it, things are looking a little bit rough for us. Tyrone Bowdens, you know what, man? If he gets claimed, I don't really care. If he gets claimed, I don't really care. Let's just go best lines for now. And let's fix this team up really quick. Oh, Jones is not a center. Something we have learned today. Leidecker, though, is up to a first-line player. Huh. I mean, I'm gonna do something drastic here. I'm gonna do something drastic. I'm gonna make that our top line for the moment. And go Connor Brown at center. I think we'll go with that. And of course, we'll take out Postma for Juuso Valimaki. Down in the AHL, I'm just going to go best lines. Of course, that'll put Melee and Laredo in, but we'll see what happens with that team. I mean, we only have 3 games left now, 2 games. We just lost 2 games back-to-back, 6-4 finals. Can we beat Dallas? Chris Tierney is back to 100%. And we will stop before this game against the Sharks. Let me just sim up to this day. We have a 16, 17, and 2 record so far this year. Currently in 5th. We do have a game at hand on Nashville, but we are 8 points back. So right now we're not on a very good pace. Not at all. And looking, I mean, obviously the injuries have been a major concern. But looking at Leidecker, I mean, he is improving. He's up to that 85. He has 18 points so far in 35 games. Again, when you look at a top 6 player, that's That's decent, I guess, but it's not what we're really looking for. We need more out of him. Nolan Patrick with 22 points, Daniel Sprong with 21. On the second line, Dirksen has 20 points. Marner and Pasternak are starting to find their games, but go figure, I had to drop them down to kind of legitimately to the second line with Dirksen because I'm kind of prioritizing the happiness of Lydecker, Patrick, and Sprong. Third line, Olsen, he's up to 10 points. He's kind of finding his scoring touch a little bit. I don't know. We are in such a weird spot right now where I'm not exactly saying, like, oh, let's blow it up. But, there's definitely room to make changes. And I got to admit, I'm recording this a bit late, and I'm so tired at this point that I think I'm just going to take a step back, guys. I think we're going to end this episode because I want to be able to reassess our current situation when I'm in not necessarily a better frame of mind because, whatever. I'm sitting here recording a franchise mode episode. I'm fine. But I feel like the next episode where we're going to sim through the rest of the season could be a very, very big episode. And I feel like simming forward, even a game more would be a fairly bad decision because I want to hear from you guys. What do you think at this point? With the season the way it's going, underperforming players, whether goaltenders, skaters, the injury bug that we've been dealing with, it's been a fairly eventful first 35 games. At least that's how I would describe it. And I have to admit, I'm a little bit anxious to find out, a little bit scared to find out just how the rest of this season will go. So again, we are going to end this episode. I'm looking forward to seeing what you have to say down in the comments below. Let me know what you think, for better or worse, good or bad. Have I ruined this team with the way I've set it up? What can we do to salvage the season? Let me know down in the comments below. As well, of course, if you enjoyed the episode, feel free to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already to help support the video and the channel. It's greatly appreciated. Links, of course, are in the description to my Twitter and Twitch. Give me a follow on both of those platforms if you have not already. And I will see you guys in the next one where I legitimately do not know what to expect. And again, that kind of scares me.